Hello and welcome to the official North Star YouTube channel. My name's Rich and today I'm going to be painting one of our most recent releases for Frostgrave. This is the Frostgrave Cultists III. In this one I'm going to be painting just this single miniature as there are so many different varieties available on the sprue. And speaking of the sprue, why don't we take a look at the new box? There it is, lovely artwork on the front and some lovely examples painted by Kev Dallimore. Great stuff, you can make 20 of these models. So without further ado, let's crack this open. So in here you get 4 sprues as well as enough bases to mount 20 of them. The sprues are the same, but it gives you so many different options on them. So let's have a quick look. There you go. Fantastic. 5 different bodies, all with sort of different motions and apparel and all sorts of stuff going on them. Looking a bit raggedy and nasty. Look at the number of the heads on there as well. And of course all of these can be used to kit bash with the other Cultist kits. So Cultist 1, 2 and even the upcoming Cultist Knights. So lots of different weapons on here, including the now legendary chainsaw. All sorts of different options there. So hand weapons, there's even, look, some guy with some skeletal arms instead of normal arms. And as many weapons as you could possibly need. So 4 of these sprues, allowing you to make 20 full models, and will give you enough bits for your bits box to keep you happy for a number of years. I'm going to be painting this guy in what I would like to think of as almost a typical cultist scheme, which is basically going to be a black mixed with a nice bloody red, with some other natural colours for the leathers and straps. So we're going to be starting off by painting the straps. This is on his arms and the legs, and as you can see I'm using army painted desert yellow for this. We're looking for probably a couple of coats of this just to get a nice clean base coat here. This gives us a nice yellowish colour which looks quite natural as well. So there's the legs done, and as you can see I'm just then now moving on to the straps around his arms. I've also chosen to paint the little bits of clothing such as the trousers and the sort of like tunic top, the under tunic here in the same colours, as it will just speed up the painting process for us. So next off, I'm actually highlighting these with ancient stone. We're looking for areas where the light from above, such as the sun, will hit. So top of the folds, any of the folds a little bit further down. As you can see here, I'm just painting the arms there, and we're just going to went across the entire model, giving it just this basic highlight just to show where the light volumes are. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is a very final highlight on these, and I'm actually using Dorado skin from Army Painter. Even though it's a skin colour, it does actually blend very nicely with the ancient stone and the desert yellow, just to add that final pop of light, and really accentuates the shapes of the trousers and the straps on both the arms and the legs. Again, these paints have been watered down about 50-50 with water, just so I get a nice smooth finish. You may need to do 1 or 2 actual passes with the paint, but it does give you that nice vibrancy and smoothness if it is watered down. So that's the straps done on both the arms and the legs. Next up, we're going to be painting the boots and the gloves. And for this we're using oak brown. This is a lovely colour that will pretty much cover both of these areas in just one smooth pass. So you don't need to do multiple layers with this, and it is a very vibrant colour, even over a black undercoat like we have here. There you go. And now I'm going to be looking to highlight these, and for the highlight I've actually chosen fur brown. Now this has a little bit more red in it and is again of a lighter shade than the oak brown. So again, we are just looking for those areas that are facing upwards towards our light source. I'm always imagining this is the sun for outside, but it could be any other one. And we're just looking at the top of the fingers, the back of the hand and in the gloves, and obviously the top of the boots. But indeed any area of these items that will be looking upwards, facing upwards. So that's that done. And now we're going to be moving on to the black areas. Now this is going to be a large chunk of the main tunic. And what I've looking to do is I'm base coating all of these areas with Army Painter's matte black. Now this is obviously going to be very easy to do over a black primer, but we're just really looking to touch up any areas where I might have got paint from previous layers, such as the straps and the trousers here. Now what we're going to be looking to do here is highlight this just like the rest of the model, and for this I'm going to be using deep grey. As you can see, I'm basically looking at all of the areas which are again facing up, again where the light's coming from. So it's the top of the shoulders, the back of the legs here, and we're really just looking for a nice smooth coat and really just looking to map out where our highlights are going to be. And for the final highlight on this, I'm using ash grey. Same areas, but we're looking at smaller areas, leaving some of that lovely deep grey still visible, which just gives us a nice gradual blend from the black into the lighter grey. Again, we're not spending too much time on these as we are looking to get this warband really done quickly so we can get some games in. What I'm actually doing here, as you can see here, is just using the ash grey just to really follow the shape of the areas I'm highlighting, such as the folds on the lower part of the tunic here. So this just makes it smoother. And to go with the black, we're actually matching a lovely red. And I'm actually using Basilisk Red from Army Painter here. And I'm just base coating all of the areas red, so mainly the hood area and just this little flash of cloth here, which I imagine is some sort of under tunic. So there we go. Covers again, a couple of coats for that one. First highlight for this, we're actually using Wyvern Fury, again from Army Painter. And like always, we're looking for those areas that the light would hit. So on the shoulders here, it's obviously the ones at the very top. The final highlight here is pure red. We want this to be very vibrant, so we're again just highlighting the same areas as with the Wyvern Fury, just making the areas that we're highlighting smaller, just so the previous layer can come through. So next we're going to go on to the rope, which is wrapped around the chap, and the axe handle. We're going back to desert yellow for this, as it's a nice, basically what I like to think of as a natural colour here. It's not too yellow, it's sort of like an ochre colour. So again, a couple of coats here, just looking for smoothness, particularly on the axe handle, and trying to make sure that we don't actually splash this on any of the gloves that we've already painted. And here is the model with the base coat done on the axe and the rope areas. The next thing we're going to be looking to do is I'm using ice yellow here, and I'm just highlighting the rope. Again, the top areas of the rope which are looking up, and we're going to go around the entire model here. As you can see, there's a fair bit of it, and you're just looking for that splash of colour just to really define where the rope is. The ice yellow is watered down again about 50-50, and as you can see here, what I'm looking to do on the axe handle is just actually paint in some thin lines just to give an idea of maybe some wood effect there. Next we're moving on to the face, so very small amount of it, just the bottom of his chin, so we're just using a small amount of topaz skin initially. This covers really nicely, and then we're just literally highlighting it with barbarian flesh, so just a base coat and a highlight. As you can see here, nice and easy. So I quickly used oak brown to base coat the antlers and the fur for his head here, and I'm just highlighting the antlers and the skull area with desert yellow. He's got a nice little grill here, so we're just covering all those areas with the desert yellow. For the fur on the head, I've used onyx flesh to highlight it. So now we're moving on to the metals, just little plates on the back and front of the figure, and obviously the axe head. So I'm using plate mail here. As you can see, covers nicely with just really one coat. Larger areas you might need two just for that smoothness and full coverage. So next thing to do is to give it all a strong tone wash. I've mixed this 50-50 with water just to really dull down the metal because we're looking for quite an old sort of rusted and corroded look here. Once that's dry, we're going in with some Army Painter Fresh Rust. Now we're looking to get this into the sort of recessed areas. There are some pockmarks modelled into the axe head here. And we're just using a couple of coats of this just to build it up so it looks proper rusty, right in the grooves and all of the damage there. So you can see on the axe head here, just around where the axe head meets the haft, around the actual top of the axe here. Trying to stay away mostly from where the cutting edge is because that's going to be getting a lot of use, hacking up heathens and non-believers obviously. And once that's dry, we're just going to go back in quickly and use plate mail just to give a little highlight, some little streaks where it looks like the rust has actually chipped away through use. And we're doing the sort of top areas of the axe here. Again, we can use this as the highlight to show where the light's coming from, and just a quick couple of dabs here on the little discs on both the front and back of the model itself. And with that, the painting of the model is done. He's looking all evil and cultisty, ready to join the rest of his warband in the frozen city of Folstad. So with the model finished, all that's left to do is start on the base. So I'm actually going to use a product called Kraut Putty. This is basically a clay-like material that you use to cover up the little puddles the bases come on and blend it into the larger model base we've used here. I've just rolled up sausages and put it in initially with my finger and moulded the basic shape. But then I've used a larger damp brush just to smooth it out, as it does react with the water and allows you to get that nice smooth finish. After leaving the putty to dry overnight, I then used Kraut Tac to cover the entire base and then dipped it into a tub of snowy Highland pass. This gives it a nice gravelly and snowy texture. After leaving this to dry for about 5 or 10 minutes, I then use Kraut Fixer and just liberally spread this over the top of the base, and this dries and gives it a really solid finish. All of the Kraut cover products are available through Northstar, and there's a link in the description. And here's the model finished. Total time painting probably around about an hour, hour and a half, including the basing. The Cultists 3 are available through our website, and there's a link in the description. If you enjoyed watching, then drop us a like and comment. It's been an absolute pleasure as always, and we'll see you again next time.